Hey everyone, and welcome back to GearBlocks. I just realized my mic was blinking at me because it was muted during the intro, so here I am restarting. Either way, last episode started the hood and the fenders and the doors, and did a little bit of work on the rear axles, I believe, or something. And then off camera, I was planning on just finishing off this side of the truck, but I got a little carried away and made a full size with sleeper and everything. I decided that the front axle is pretty much the best I can get at the moment. I tried different other versions and they either had a lot of bump steer or didn't support the weight very well or whatever. I believe I changed something with the main output from the motors, but I can't remember exactly what. I moved the gearboxes down by a block, added hinges for the cab and suspension. Shifters, technically the clutches should be in front of the gearbox, but when I tested it that way, it was hard to fit everything up there with the batteries and everything. And it's just, with this design at least, it's smoother having them back here. It just works better for some reason. I nudged the drive shaft over one block so that I could use a smaller final drive in the gearbox, or the differential. And then I put on a walking beam rear suspension instead. That works much, much better. Added lights and underglow and stuff because I always do. I love underglow. That can actually be removed because that is that piece, or the piece that's supposed to fill in here. So yeah, suspension for the cab, and then I made a couple other hoods just with different grille designs. That was the original design. This is the one I think I like the most as of them at the moment, and then here's the other one that's on the blue truck. I also added a couple spare tires, and a bunch of plastic work and lights. I love having lights on my trucks. And then the interior, I made as nice as I possibly could, with nice wood trim everywhere, screens for the batteries, just how much capacity is in them, and then we have the shifter positions, the overall RPM of all the motors, and the speed, and then the RPM and torque of each motor individually. We have the shifters sticking through the floor, pedals, little cubby and dashboard and whatnot. I still need to put on armrests on the inside of the doors. And then a nice little sleeper. I still have to add in some cabinets and a little cooktop and stuff, but it gets the idea across. And then, like I said, there's lights and stuff. I still need to put a couple beacons on the side. And then there's a sunroof for inside the sleeper. And then I made a couple trailers. This is the dry van that I made. It's fairly detailed. It's got some just steel cylinders in it to simulate some weight. And it's just a simple ladder bar style chassis with mock supports, and then a walking beam suspension on the trailer as well. And then a simple dolly, which is the same suspension, just with a tongue on it and a fifth wheel. It's a little laggy, because two trailers and all that, but it performs pretty well. Wonder why it's making noises. But, it actually has a bit of torque twist in the suspension when I hit the throttle, which is kind of funny, but it's also spinning everything up until the clutches, so. But if I re-engage the clutch, start going, it's pretty good. Put it into third. Without the clutches, it would have this jerky motion because of all the weight and the play in the gearboxes. Putting the clutches towards the back, it got rid of the play that was in the driveline and made it nice and smooth. And then having a lower gearing in the differential gave it a much, much better like torque and top speed and stuff. And it actually makes using both 3-speed gearboxes usable. And then I just added like the lights and stuff. The steering wheel's supposed to turn, but it doesn't want to at the moment, I guess. Trying to turn without rolling. So, what I'm going to do is update the short version to kind of match what this one now has. So I'll probably start with the rear suspension, and then I will make the little changes that I did to the front. Not sure if I have to change the front bumper or not. I made a little like air scoop in the front bumper and whatnot, and a hole in the hood and on the side just to kind of mimic airflow for coolant. And then you can kind of see the cab moving. Oh, and we've rolled, of course. There's a good look at the bottom though. Either way, let's get back over to the other one and check it out. It is a little bit smaller than I thought it was going to be, but I think it works great. It has like 16,000 whatever the units are of torque, and it is just, it's fast and powerful. And then with the gearing, it gives it even more torque at the wheels, so it can tow a lot. I was towing like 5 flatbed trailers with twice as much weight on them, if not more weight. Like it was nothing. So yeah, and then we've got, like I said, the lights and stuff, and then the typical turn signals and whatnot. Is this as fast as it's gonna go in this gear? Kind of is. Oops, wrong button. There we go. So yeah. And then there's even the little like side mirror above the passenger door. It's not wired up or anything, because just normal free build mode, but yeah. I am quite happy with how this has turned out. So, for the rear suspension, I'm going to mark where the rear wheels need to be. And then once I'm done updating the suspension, I can go through and, there we go, drop the chassis down and make the extra frame rails, because I had to drop the chassis down by 1 block as well to make room for the cab to move. And then I also have this lower section to the chassis as well now. The way I've managed to set this up is that this beam right here can be adjusted to adjust the length of the truck easy, but I'm not sure if the clutches will all fit. But at the moment, I just need to remove the current suspension, which it worked, but not in the way that I really wanted it to. So, yeah. Alright, that should be the rear suspension. Perfect, okay. I want to leave at least 2 of the wheels, so I'll leave those 2. And then I'll just remove all of that, and there we go. It's just having the springs set up like this, it doesn't support the weight well enough. And then even with having the sway bar there, it rolls too much. So I am going to put in this setup. And yeah. I guess I could have left the axles themselves in, but oh well. So let's start with the front rear axle. I will copy that, bring it over here, and stick it in there. I guess I can move this a bit closer. And then, even with the walking beam suspension, the torque of the motors still lifts this wheel. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, I'll just kind of go through and rebuild it, I guess. And hopefully it all will... Oops, that's over way too far. There we go. Remove that wheel again just so I can see everything. There we go, okay. And then we copy over this beam. That, oh, okay, it was there. Really? That seems a little off. Okay. These go like that. There we go, that's much better. And then this goes on the back. And then, oops. We copy or grab the other, really? Okay, I'm going to unlock that so I can just kind of do that. And then I will lock this back into place. And that goes there. With that on the end. Awesome. And that's the main, like, axle housing thingy. I will grab the gear and that piece. Might as well duplicate that really quick too. And stick this all in. That can stay together as it needs to. There we go. Yeah, I will have to do a little finagling once I drop the gearboxes down in this one. Okay. I should build the other axle before I get too far into this. So, I need that and that one. This goes into the back of this differential. And then these will go together, and then I can get the spacing of the other differential easily. Oops, that wasn't supposed to go in there. Nope. And then just rebuild the differential again. Or axle, whatever. With having two rear axles, I had to flip the center actual like differential the other way in order for them to both spin the proper direction. Therefore, I have to use the bigger 32 tooth gear in between the axles, but with having this gear here, it allows me to still have the reduced final drive. I'm going to quickly just do this so that it's all attached, and then I can move everything to get the other parts. There we go. Alright, that goes in there like so. See, why can't it just do that every time I do something? There we go. I guess I could have used those axles, but whatever. Turn that around so that it's easier to access everything. Here we go. Turn that around. I will grab the rest of the gears. I might as well do it now, actually. Quickly, I need 4 of these ones, yes. And then 2 of these ones. I can lock them all in a moment. It'll take longer to lock each one as I put it on. Okay then. I forgot that I did that. There we go. Okay, so technically the axles themselves are done. Excuse me. I'm going to do this instead. Just kind of, it's not in the way that way. I will put the 5th wheel on after. Next, I need to do these half rounds. You can take the wheels completely off now. And then the half rounds go towards the inside. I need 4 of them. I should find some kind of music that goes well with this, but oh well. Alright, there we go, and now I used one of these sideways ball and axles, the vertical ones, and I need 4 of these as well. I should have shortened it before duplicating it, but whatever. Alright, there we go. And these face towards the inside on the outer end of the axle. Like so. I tried probably 5 different variants almost, 4 or 5, of walking beam, different types, and this ended up working the best, so. Okay, there we go. Now we need the connector beam. They should all be the same length. Go like this. Yep, okay, awesome. Doing it this way allows it to have a little bit of articulation, but not too much, because it doesn't bend on this end, just on the far end. And then put a 3-way in between, like so. This also keeps the springs down a little bit lower, which is quite nice for compactness. Alright. I might not get everything done I want to in this video, but oh well. Alright, does it rotate in this piece or that piece? In this one, okay. Go. Now they can, one can go up, the other one can go down. I now need this bar here, which connects right there in the middle. Like so. That on either side. And then up here at the front, it's just a simple half round that goes up and attaches it to the chassis. I should have checked where that rotates. On the beam, okay. And there's just enough space to put it here. It looks like it would rub and like be in the way, but it actually works somehow. Oops. There we go. Now that is on. I will grab the supports for that. Are there supports for that? Ooh, I didn't put support. Oh yeah, there are. Kind of. I thought I made more supports for that, but I guess not. And then, I'll get to that when I actually get to that point. So now I need the heavy coils. So. And then that needs to be 2 or 3? Just 2, okay. I gotta make a bunch of these. These, since I duplicated it, they should be all the same settings. And then I also need to set them to rotate. Go. These ones go that way. Okay. One of them goes on the very end, and then the other one goes a little bit further forwards, like so. Here we go. Now that's technically, well, aside from them not being connected up there, that's pretty much done. To connect them, I used a plate with a hole on it, and then a block to space it out, and then a couple axles that are 3 long. So one side needs to face this way, and then go towards the inside with the axles, I think, yes. And that should work. I'm pretty sure that's just exactly what the other one was. Oops. Go. Make another one of these, but facing the other way. Like so. And then make sure to set the coilovers to rotate on the top as well. There we go. Rear suspension is hooked up. Mostly. I forgot there's a 3rd link on the top. It's technically a 3-link suspension. This goes in the middle on top of the diff. Right there. And then same with the back. And then there's one of these on the front and the back. The middle link, or upper link, I should say, isn't centered, but that's perfectly fine. It doesn't have to be in the middle. Oops. There we go. Grab the beam, or the bar, axle with the ball, whatever you want to call it. Stick it on. And then, for a while, I did have this connecting the same way this did, but I didn't like how it handled. It didn't let the suspension actually work how it was supposed to, so I ended up changing it. And then this axle. Oh, right. I also need 2 of these. Little ball cap thingy. And this goes that way. This one goes this way. And then I need 2 more half rounds to connect them. So I will just grab from here. Where'd that come from? Oh, that was just my wheel marker. Okay. Oops. There we go. It looks like I need to do a little bit of work on the front end as well, but we will get to that. Okay, so there is almost the rear suspension. I still have to put on this little bracket thing, even though it doesn't technically need it. I like to do stuff like this just in case. Makes it seem a bit more accurate, more realistic, like you're actually dealing with forces and having to make it strong. And I'm sure you know what I mean. Alright, that should be it for the suspension. Should be. Looks like it is. So I will now finish up with all of the gears. I think I just need the two 32 tooth crown gears. Oh, that's the wrong one. I want the low 32 tooth. There we go. And that transfers power between the two axles. Now that looks like it is done. Okay. I can now remove this bar and move the gearboxes down a block. So I'm going to take that out for now. It's really easy to move the gearboxes down. It's just a pain in the butt. I also changed the batteries. So these can come off as well, because I put on a 200 kilowatt hour battery, one for each motor instead of 50 kilowatt hours, and then a normal 2 kilowatt hour battery for the lights and whatnot. So I need to remove all of this, and then I'll have to adjust that as well. That for now. Okay, I don't think I changed anything on this other than how it attaches so that it doesn't interfere with the body or anything. Just gotta take the mounts off of, off this side. Oopsies. There we go. Alright. Really? There we go. Those are now separate. So, how did I attach it on this one? Okay, so the front one, I just made a block longer. So before I move the actual gearbox, if I put that there, and bring it down by one, there we go. Did I move it forwards? I did. Looks like I also moved the gearbox forwards by a block, so that I could attach this all differently. Which means I still need to lower the frame rail. Those can go to... Oh yeah, I did a lot of work to this. That needs to come down. Actually, I might as well just get rid of those two. Copy it over from the other truck. Doing it like this is kind of pointless. After I've already done the work, but I want to properly show everything. So I will drop the chassis and then I will be able to show or drop the gearbox and stuff properly. I am going to end this part of the video here though, because this is all the time I've got for today, unfortunately. And then we will continue with this in the next episode. I'm not sure how much of the steering stuff I changed, so I will leave that for now. And just adjust the frame rails. Top frame rail needs to end right in front of the cab. like so. Alright, there we go. And then the lower part, just kind of... I thought I did that a little differently on this one, but we'll see. Alrighty. As usual, if you have any tips or tricks or questions, anything you want me to check out, feel free to put it in the comments below. And as always, I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.